Have you ever sit down to study and it ended up taking the whole day because you didn't set clear deadlines for yourselves or clear goals? That is something that we call Parkinson's law. Have you ever started something and then continuously felt the urge to finish the task? That's something that we call the Zeigarnik effect. Have you ever heard about the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the results come from 20% of the content on the work? That's something that we call Pareto's law. Today I'm going to discuss all of these laws and principles and how you can use them to make the best and most efficient study routine. If you don't know me, my name is Tom, also known as The Study Coach, and we help students and adult learners with science-backed learning, time management, mindset principles to improve their academic and professional performance without sacrificing their mental and physical health. Today, talking about productivity laws and how you can use them in your day-to-day basis. So before we are going through a real life example, I want to go over the laws here on screen real quick. So we have the Pareto law, 80-20 rule. Focus on the vital 20% of topics, which yields 80% of the results. Hicks law means that if we reduce choices and we set one clear goal, we're more likely to accomplish that. Hofstadter and Murphy's law say that it will always take longer than we expect. Things will go wrong, so therefore we should plan buffers. Goodhart's law says that measure real outcomes, not vanity metrics. When we start today, we want to implement Parkinson's law by setting micro deadlines. This helps us to achieve the things that we want to do in a small amount of time. The Zeigarnik effect starts with an unfinished task to stay engaged. Newton's law from motion, once you start it, it's easier to continue. That's why action always leads to motivation, and we can't wait on motivation alone. Regarding deep work, Carlson's law, uninterrupted work is better than multitasking. The law of least effort, make good habits easy and bad habits hard. Jurkes Dodson, moderate pressure improves performance. So if you challenge yourself a little bit more than you actually think you can, you will get better results. Ultradian rhythms means that we have 90 minutes of focus then rest. Hebbian theory means that recalling from memory wires the brain, therefore improving knowledge retention. Interleaving makes sure that we mix topics to avoid the Einstellung trap, which means that we just think in one way. Von Restorff, unusual info stands out, so highlight exceptions. Motivation and follow through, the end-out progress effect. Take progress early creates more momentum, more motivation, more action. Commitment and consistency, share your plan or teach someone such that you commit to doing this thing and then seeing the result, or like actually doing the work. Pygmalion effect, higher expectations leads to better results. So if you set high expectations for yourself, you can probably also expect higher results. However, sometimes this is a problem for people getting very perfectionistic and stuff. And smart stopping. Illich law means that stop when productivity drops. Zeigarnik effect again, leave a cliffhanger for tomorrow. Now that you know all of these laws, let's put them into a real life story with a student, Sam. Sam has an exam in 10 days and we're going to see how we can apply these laws. Okay? So Sam starts the night before and here's what happens. He's first going to apply the Pareto principle. Instead of studying everything, Sam picks the 20% of the topics that drive 80% of the exam questions. This information can be found in your syllabus or your course outlines. Teachers tell you exactly what you need to study for the exam and sometimes even how you're going to be tested with multiple choice questions, open-ended questions, case study questions. Then comes Hicks' law. Too many choices cause paralysis. So Sam picks just one goal for tomorrow, photosynthesis pathways. But we all know that things take longer than planned. That Hofstadter's law, which is things take longer than expected and things will go wrong. So Sam blocks 2 50-minute sessions with a buffer. And to avoid the trap of chasing vanity metrics like do 100 flashcards, Sam uses Goodhart's law, focus on real outcomes, not fake measures. For Sam it's simple, be able to explain the pathway from memory. So be able to explain the photosynthesis pathway from memory. That's the goal. The next morning it's all about momentum. So with Parkinson's law, Sam is going to set mini deadlines, finish first recall attempts in 25 minutes. Or he says, within this hour, I want to cover this topic or this chapter. To spark the Zeigarnik effect, Sam just writes the question headers on a blank page. That unfinished feeling makes the brain itch to complete the task later on. And once Sam is in motion, Newton's law of productivity kicks in. It's way easier to keep going. Action leads to motivation. Motivation leads to momentum. Momentum leads to more action, right? Now for the focused study blocks. Carlson's law says that uninterrupted work is far more efficient and effective than multitasking. So Sam puts the phone in another room, he turns off his notification, he tells other people that he doesn't want to get distracted, and he's not doing 3 things at the same time. To activate the law of least effort, he makes good habits easy and bad habits hard. Everything is set up before starting to study. So he has his books ready, he has his note-taking block ready, he has his pencils ready, and he makes it harder to be on his phone by putting it in a different room or even behind a lock if needed. Then Yerkes-Dodson law, a little stress boosts performance. So a visible 25-minute timer adds just enough pressure to make him try and go to the material in a more efficient and effective way, improving performance. Plus Sam works with his brain's ultradian rhythms, which is about 90 minutes of focus and then rest. So he does 3 of these bursts of 25 minutes of study work, and then with 5-minute breaks in between, and after 90 minutes he takes a longer break. Studying isn't just about time spent on the topic, it's about rewiring the brain. Hebbian theory says that cells that fire together wire together. That means that if we fire and we actively recall information, writing answers from memory first, then checking, we improve our learning. If you want to know more about active recalling, go check out our page. It's full with videos about that. To avoid the Einstellung effect, getting stuck in one-way thinking, Sam mixes in a second topic, which is something that we call interleaving. This can be in the same line of the photosynthesis pathways, or it can be something slightly completely different. So you can do, for example, interleaving with economics and finance easily. That's completely fine. And to remember exceptions, Sam leans on the von Restorff effect. The weird, unusual stuff always stands out, and that's what he focuses on, because also most likely Pareto principle here, that 20% of things that stand out are probably going to be tested, and he can yield good results from that by studying that. So now this is how Sam keeps going. With the end out progress effect, Sam's checklist already has 2 boxes ticked. Plan done, setup done. Seeing progress fuels progress. So when we can check off the boxes, that's why checklists and everything like that work really well, we will see improvement. Then commitment and consistency. Sam tells a study group about the plan and books a 20-minute teach-back session in the evening with his friend, for example. Because once you commit publicly, you're more likely to follow through. The Pygmalion effect. Sam sets the expectations. I'm the kind of student who can teach this by 5 p.m. Higher expectations, better performance. So if you commit to that, you're more likely to achieve it. And lastly, Sam also knows when to stop, because Illich's law means that productivity drops after a certain point. When recall quality dips, Sam rests instead of continues to grind. This is why you want to focus on improving your sleep, consolidate all of the memories while you are nicely laying in your bed and you don't pull all-nighters. Before leaving the end of the day, Sam writes just the first line of tomorrow's tasks. And that's again the Zeigarnik effect, an open loop. Makes it easier to start tomorrow again. I hope you enjoyed these laws. If you need to recap them, go watch the first 3 minutes of this video, then focus on implementing 1, 2, or maybe 3 of these principles in the next day and see how much of results you will get. Now, if you like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Check out the other videos we make about study methods, time management, and productivity. And I'm wishing you good luck in the next academic year.